No one knows about that part, though, because it's cut.
Good old nostalgic movie today, huh, Booty?
Not in my case.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that because right now, this is the part where I do the intro. Welcome to the PatCave. I'm your host, Pat Clark, and with me, as always, the Gremlin King himself, Alex Booty.
Am I Stripey? Am I Gizmo?
Yeah.
Bootsmo?
Bootsmo, love it.
Bootsmo.
Yes, awesome. Well, this is the podcast where we talk all about nostalgic movies, pop culture, TV, cartoons we loved and grew up with, just all that stuff, man.
And other ones.
And some other things like
this.
So, Booty, we watched Gremlins today.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I have some notes.
Initial thoughts? I mean, how did it make you feel?
Well, this is a Christmas movie. I mean, we did the whole hey, let's pick an unknown. Let's pick something that
you don't think of right away when you think of Christmas.
Right. Like there are those of us that would consider Die Hard a Christmas movie because it is.
Sure.
And then Harry Potter films they'll throw on during the Christmas holidays because there's Christmas scenes in it.
Yeah.
This is one of those movies where it is definitely taking place during Christmas.
Yes.
Throughout the entire film.
Absolutely.
And I don't think I value this as a Christmas movie in my catalog.
You mean your values don't line up with their Christmas values? So wait, this is your first time seeing this?
This is my first time seeing Gremlins.
And now I saw this maybe once or twice as a kid.
I have to talk to your parents.
Yeah, well, it was PG.
It was.
Yeah.
We have some facts that are relative to that. No,
Yeah.
they really get you with the poster is just Gizmo, and he's so cute and fluffy.
Yeah.
God forbid he turns into anything else.
Well, that gets me to one of my first notes about this movie.
Yeah.
Is the puppeteers and the visual effects. They look like they're just having so much fun doing this.
Yeah.
But you got to remember what year this was.
This was 1984, and this movie predates the Chicago Bulls drafting Michael Jordan by only a couple of days.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, I just thought, sometimes they looked really good and the puppets were really well done. Other times they just glue one on a fan.
I know. I also, there's some scenes in the movie theater where I think that you see the guy's arm behind the gremlin.
You saw a couple arms.
I think I did. Or, it was some dark sweater and
Sure.
we'll find it.
Well, okay, so a quick little synopsis of the movie, right?
This is difficult, but I will do my best.
Okay, let's
Or
hear
would
it.
you like to?
Okay, let me take a crack at it.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, I'll do it the Booty style. I'll go.
Okay.
One.
Yeah.
It's Christmas time, and Dad is an inventor. He's traveling the country. Needs to get his son something crazy for Christmas.
Do you hear what I hear?
I did. Number two, he finds this crazy creature in a little back alley Chinatown shop.
Right, but what was the name of their something Falls? What was the name of their
Kingston
Falls?
Yes.
It doesn't even say where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
They got snow, so
They do.
all right. Canada.
So number three,
We're in Canada again. Number
Billy, our main character,
Mhm.
gets the gremlin.
Oh boy, does he?
Number four,
Merry
the gremlins get him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's an avalanche.
So, yeah, there's some rules that go with these gremlins. We
Okay.
got one, don't ever
Feed them before midnight.
feed them after midnight.
After midnight.
Don't get water around them. Don't let water touch them.
Okay.
And then the third one was, oh gosh, I should know this. Sunlight.
Sunlight.
And the bright
Yeah.
light stuff. The bright lights.
Right.
Yeah. So they don't like bright lights. You got to keep them in dark.
They multiply when poured when water.
When touched with water. Yes.
Yeah, and then
when they eat, they
turn into
pupil. Was that the word? The pupil state.
the pupil state. Well, I was confused on that
Like the butterfly.
Yeah, I thought the the larva state, the pupa state, pupa. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Gross.
Very gross.
Gross. Speaking of that, the gross little eggs they hatched out of.
They looked like turds. They looked like turds. They emitted smoke. They had green lights inside of them.
So exactly what you think would happen is all three of those rules are broken.
Yeah, the egg is like something I would expect the Grinch to hatch out of.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And five, the town goes to shit.
Yeah,
and Billy and Gizmo have to save the day.
Not so much Billy.
No, well, he carried Gizmo the whole way.
Who was remote controlling that car? I need to know. All right,
Gizmo, I think, from the inside.
Yeah, he's good with wires. I don't know.
It was a little intense sometimes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was before the PG-13 rating.
I know why my parents didn't let me watch this.
Yeah, and so a lot of parents were upset
Mm-hmm.
because it was kind of advertised like an E.T. movie, Steven Spielberg, and it was not.
No, it was so chaotic, so bloody at times.
After this movie, they created PG-13
right.
because of this.
Yes,
So that's kind of a cool little fact.
I have the yeah.
Oh, you got that in your booty facts list?
I do.
Oh.
In 1984, Spielberg had a hand in both Gremlins and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. They were both PG films, but they contained some violent material, perhaps unsuitable for young children. So they too tame for an R rating, but Spielberg suggested that the MPAA might want to create a new middle ground for such a film. Thus, later in 1984, the PG-13 rating was born.
Could you imagine just being like, oh, that's for kids and that's for adults? There's no in between.
No, I know, because I have plenty of VHS tapes at my parents' house that are like Bond films that are like PG.
Really?
And I'm like, absolutely not.
Yeah, people are dying in this.
Yeah. In terms of box office,
yeah, let's hear it.
This movie was made for a total of $11 million, and it made $212.9 million in the box office.
Oh my gosh.
Holy shit. And there were a lot of important names, which we will get to, that were a part of this movie.
Let's get to them now.
Okay. So this was written by Chris Columbus. He also directed Harry Potter 1 and 2.
Okay.
So that's Sorcerer's Stone.
I recognize the name. Yeah.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Nice. Small Soldiers, right?
No, that's the director of Gremlins. Did Small Soldiers?
We're Chris
Columbus wrote this.
Okay, and this was his first big break, correct?
No, that was when he discovered America. It was definitely not his big break. He's been in the industry for a long time, but
he said this was his first time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. You're absolutely right. So he was a writer. Oh my God. Christopher Columbus, I love you. Christopher Columbus wrote Gremlins, The Goonies, Adventures in Babysitting, Home Alone.
Wow.
And he directed Home Alone.
Wow.
He directed Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, Mrs.
Wow.
Doubtfire,
Wow.
Stepmom, Bicentennial Man.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
The director was Joe
Dante. I don't know.
I feel like this was the one that kicked it off for him too.
He even says that in their special features.
Yeah.
I will always be known as the guy that wrote Gremlins.
And then you got, of course, Steven Spielberg, Kathleen Kennedy, all of them behind the scenes producing.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what Kathleen Kennedy's role was, but having her on this didn't help. I know that.
Why?
Just she ruined Star Wars. Well,
jeez.
Yeah, put a chick in it and make her gay.
Wow, he's better.
I don't know.
I think this was just around one of those times where comedy, horror, Evil Dead kind of vibes I'm getting.
And it's kind of for kids?
Yeah.
What the hell?
I was just thinking once I saw them start to steal cars and use guns and dress up in clothes.
Guns.
I started having a lot more fun with it. When it stopped taking itself so seriously, that's when I started enjoying it. Because the first part, I was like, wait, are they trying to really make this scary or not?
I couldn't figure it out. It was the moment that Gizmo finally turns over into the other Gremlins.
Yeah.
That's when I was just oh, they must have told the special effects department and the puppeteers, go fucking nuts, have a great time.
Yeah.
We haven't really thought this part through.
Yeah.
But Gizmo's going to defeat the bad guy.
Sure. Well, and Gizmo's,
you guys have fun.
Gizmo's the only one that stays
in
his first form.
Because Billy is a good kid. Billy follows directions. He took very good care of Gizmo, and thus he didn't turn into a fiendish... Dude, that thing came out of a portal. All those things were
here's the thing. He went to go feed Gizmo some of the chicken, and Gizmo was a really smart one, so he's like, no, I'm good.
And he checked. He was like, oh, it's 11:50.
Yeah,
I guess we have a grace period.
His clock was broken.
It was I don't know. I think it was Stripe.
Yeah, he chewed the cord to his clock.
Was that a scene? Did I miss that?
No,
okay.
That was what
he was
implied.
he was his eyebrows were like Jack Black in that little suitcase.
When we first see Gizmo, his face, and they're kind of trying to show all the tricks off of the puppetry, the animatronic eyelids with all the facial features, and I wrote, it's that looks like me after 10 vodka sodas. His eyes get all cross-eyed, he looks up, and his eye flutters.
For the viewers that haven't nailed down what Patrick Clark looks like, it's a mixture of these Gremlins, Jim Carrey, Squints Palladino,
Palladorus,
and Steve-O. At least we're on the same page with that. A couple of notes, like before we keep going with the plot, like right in the beginning, that the Chinatown, like that shop that they get Gizmo out of, I was just getting like the Harry Potter Borgin and Burke's vibes. You know what Borgin and Burke's is?
Where they get the wands, right?
No, that's Ollivander's. Borgin and Burke's is the shop like when he does the flu powder and he ends up in the wrong bad guy shop.
Diagon Alley.
Nocturne Alley.
Okay.
Diagon Alley is the good one.
Diagonally.
Yeah, that's what he says when he. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
But like, it was like so creepy. I mean, just the same vibe.
Yeah, you had this very strange old Chinese man with one white eye.
Yeah.
Didn't talk, but you kind of had a Dr. Jones kid, which is his because he had the Yankees hat on.
Could you do that again?
The Dr. Jones?
Yeah.
Dr. Jones.
Oh
God,
man,
I love that. What's short sidekick? What's his name?
Short Round.
Short Round.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had his grandson is the one that actually sold it to Billy's dad.
Right.
And Billy's dad is a famous singer.
What?
Yeah. So that the actor, Billy's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an actual.
Hoyt Axton.
He's a singer, not an actor. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, he's acted, but
he's
like,
a country singer.
Yeah. So that's why you and I were like, wow, this guy's not showing any emotion.
What famous
And
songs
now
is he?
now it tracks. It makes a lot more sense.
Should we play one?
No.
All right.
So one thing I found interesting, I heard on the making of all that stuff, Chris Columbus, when he wrote this, didn't have Gizmo staying as the cute little version.
He was going to have Gizmo be basically Gizmo and Stripe.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, okay. So everyone was going to turn into a bad gremlin.
Yeah.
And Steven Spielberg was the one that told him maybe he stays that way and he's his companion, and that way you kind of have this cute emotional love story, which was genius.
Yeah.
Because this is just like Grogu and Mandalorian.
Oh my God, it is. I mean, there's so many. Like, first off, there's moments where Billy's carrying him in a backpack, like Luke on Dagobah with Yoda.
Big ears.
Same
big
with
eyes,
Mandalorian with
same
Grogu. This is 84, so it's just funny because like you see so many hints of stuff. Like the other thing that I noticed was the voices of the Gremlins. So that, I mean, the guy who did it in the mic, that's Howie Mandel.
What?
Howie Mandel, as in like the host
the
of
football player.
No.
Oh, the guy in the Raiders?
Oh my God, I love you so much. Howie Long.
Okay, so
Howie Mandel is the host of America's Got Talent.
The bald one.
Deal or No Deal.
the bald one.
Yeah, he was
So
the
he was
voice of the Gremlin.
And he was what, a kid at
Gizmo.
this? He was a kid at this?
I mean, this was 84. I think he was like a just starting working actor, probably doing
Wow.
voiceover stuff.
That's wild.
Those sounds, I would love to fact check to see. But in another Harry Potter thing, Chris Columbus, obviously, the sounds of the Doxies in Harry Potter, it's the exact same.
Wow.
They're the exact, like some of the yeehaw, like all the crazy, the little alien voice.
That'd be cool if he used the same sound.
He had to have. There were, and then there was another one that is also the same voice. I know it for a fact. It's the same exact sound, or it's probably the same person that did the voice of Jabba the Hutt's Salacious B. Crumb.
That's a name?
Yeah, Salacious Crumb, and I'm going to type in Howie Mandel. No, it's not the same.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, that was pointless. That was really pointless. There was a lot of pointless things that happened in this movie, but we can get to that.
Well, one of them is on the screen right now, and it's the dad's inventions.
Oh my God.
Like, I know
They're terrible.
and his family was being nice by being like, oh, yeah, I'm sure it's going to work out sometime. But, like, they are being attacked daily by their kitchen gadgets.
Yeah, the Gremlins aren't that much different, I guess.
Right?
I mean, well, it's just funny because there is a moment where, like, one of his friends is making fun of him, and he's like, you're basically taking care of your whole family. As a bank teller?
Right?
Like, I mean, his dad's a failed, I mean, he successfully made some shitty inventions.
And maybe that's part of the whole storyteller. There's a narrator that's like, when something goes wrong in your gadget, there's little gremlins in it.
Which is the dad.
Yeah, and then the neighbor comes over and, your car is broken down. You got to watch out for those gremlins. So, like, that's the theme throughout the movie. So maybe that's also why they threw in all these wacky machines that don't work. Because I thought for sure they'd have a callback to him maybe killing one of the gremlins with one of his dad's machines. She did kill him with one of the kitchen appliances, so...
Yeah, like multiple. She had like 2 knives at one point.
But,
like
he's
she put them in the blender.
But like he invented a juicer? He invented
a weird way to make coffee.
A coffee
The
maker?
bathroom buddy.
Yeah.
That was horrible. How many times I gotta watch green toothpaste eke out? That's fucking weird, bro.
A Swiss Army knife of bathroom utilities.
Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, I forgot about a razor. Like the razor was the final thing to add." Like what? How about just separate them? put them in a drawer, and move along. Patrick, can we get a gremlin?
You want to get one?
Yeah, they're so cute.
You want to get a gremlin?
Just a little one, just a gizmo.
Did you ever have a Furby?
I didn't. I think my nieces did.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think I ever had a. If I got a Furby, it was like the McDonald's.
The little ones.
The Happy Meals.
Yeah.
I probably just threw it in a box.
My sister had a Furby. It was just as annoying as these ones from the movie.
And terrifying to look at.
Yeah.
The only difference, guys, beaks.
Just had a hard beak.
Just had a hard beak. Furby. Yeah. And also, they kept blaming, like, what is this little creature? This, is it a mogwai? Mogwai?
Mogwai. Chinese for devil. Like the
yeah.
translation. Kind of weird how, like, when he got it, he's like, oh, wow, here's a new pet, son. And I'm like, what kind of pet is that? Have you ever seen anything
this creature?
like that?
Nothing.
Everyone's just like, oh, cool.
Everyone was so excited. Yeah, Corey Feldman comes over. He's like, oh, cool, dude. Check out this cool treasure map I found, too. You want to go to... Dude, it was wild.
And then his science teacher, like, wow, cool. Can I have one? Like, what?
Yeah. No, the science teacher should have been the voice of reason.
And at least he tried to do some tests on it.
Yeah, I was going to predict, like, he's going to be the first one to die.
Yeah.
And he was, but it did not go the way I thought. I thought he was going to die because the Gremlins were going to be like, no, he knows too much.
It's just funny because there's a lot of just lackadaisical acting in this, I feel like. Mom, the dad, Billy.
It really made the dad look bad.
Yeah.
That's
and
for
it's
sure.
just kind of like, hey, sorry, son. You're in trouble. I've been gone. Thanks, Dad.
Mrs. Deagles. She's a real see you next Tuesday. Not a fan. Wants to kill Barney the dog, not the dinosaur. And that does not sit right with me. We should write PETA.
Was that Deagles?
That was Deagles.
Okay, she's the one that flew out the window as well?
Uh-huh.
She just didn't look like the same lady from the bank. I just kind of didn't put those two together.
Oh my God, maybe it's a double cast by accident or some bullshit.
No, well, he did say, like, when she came out the window, which I need to talk about right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we have to.
She's coming down the stairs in an electronic chair.
Yeah.
What do you call those?
Stair
chairs?
Staircase to heaven?
Yeah, an electric chair that moves down the stairway.
You've seen them.
Yes.
You guys have seen them in those 4 a.m. commercials about your grandparents that you don't talk to.
Yeah, and you were like, wait, they had those back then?
I just didn't expect it to be that good.
Yeah, and it was moving
84.
slow.
Yeah, then it wasn't.
I'm guessing because we saw a clip of the Gremlins like messing with the electricity that it threw her chair off and she went flying up the stairs.
Oh, 100%.
Out the window, 300 yards.
Her whole positioning was changed. Like, it literally, she is going up in a spiral and she is going upstairs, and then suddenly shot from the police officer's car outside where she is going full reverse out the fucking window at least 60 miles per hour.
And it's great. We watched it twice because you were typing and I was like,
yeah.
I was dying laughing. You're like, what happened?
I have no idea what I was writing. It
so
wasn't important.
We watched it twice, and if you look back, they have her arms wiggling while she's flying out, like,
just panicking.
And it's great details like that I thought was great in this movie.
Oh man, we get to reuse the wacky inflatable arm flailing too.
Yes,
don't
exactly.
We? Let's see here. I did a thing that I do, but I haven't done it in a while.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how many episodes
Booty.
the last time I did it.
What'd you do?
Here he is. The character Gerald Hopkins, that is Billy's friend at the bar, who's like, oh man, like, your old man's crazy, he's a bad inventor.
Yeah.
That's Neil from the Santa Claus. Have you seen the Santa Claus?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
the dad.
The
shitty dad with the bad sweaters who wants a weenie whistle for Christmas.
Yeah.
What a loser.
Yeah.
He, I thought, was the same actor in The Fugitive and U.S. Marshals. That is like identical. It is wild. Anyways, moving on.
I doubt they're identical, but
I'll show a comparison.
We'll put some pictures up there. We'll let the viewers decide.
Now, and then just for the viewers, I want you to be like, whoa.
Yeah, Booty was wrong again.
But they look similar.
Yeah.
Just like how Billy looks like young Bob Saget.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Thank you.
I can see that.
Yeah. All right. Back to plot stuff or funny little notesies.
Once I kind of realized how goofy they were going with it, I enjoyed it a lot more. So, like, for instance, the girlfriend, the love interest.
Oh, Phoebe Cates.
She tells a story about her dad dying, climbing down the chimney and breaking his neck, trying to be Santa Claus. This scene encompasses the whole movie, basically. Very dark humor, right?
Yeah.
That is just ridiculous, not knowing whether to laugh or be terrified.
It is chock full of that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, we got the little Christmas exception. We had Wonderful Life playing in the background of this Gremlins Christmas movie.
Yes.
A Christmas movie within a Christmas movie.
Absolutely.
Oh, so the town is the same town from Back to the Future.
Nice.
It's the exact same.
Burbank.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Universal lot.
Yeah, the Burbank lots. Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Pretty cool.
Good times.
Yeah.
So they used white sand
Yeah.
for all of this because it was the middle of summer when they filmed this.
Mm-hmm. When Corey Feldman first meets Gizmo, and it's so casual, Billy's like, "Here, meet my new pet." And all Corey Feldman's character, whose last name Fontaine, I think his name was like Pete Fontaine, that's what it is, he just goes, "Neat." There's a lot of like neato moments when it should be like, "Oh my God!" Like there was, sorry, that was really loud, but like there's just, this town is just the most oblivious bunch of buffoons
Yeah.
to allow like anyone that comes into contact with Gizmo should immediately be calling the pound or calling someone
Animal control.
the
Government.
government. It's 1984. That was not something that went extinct. That was not something that I recall from a zoo book.
Yeah. Wow, look at that hamster. It's a weird shape.
His dad's also the one who like finds it originally, and he doesn't freak out. He's like, "Oh, it's singing."
And
It's singing.
It's singing, and all of a sudden it's starting to read and talk,
and
do taxes.
yeah, I don't know why some of these things bugged me, but they did. Oh, I did another thing where I thought that the drunk guy was Uncle Jesse's dad from Full House. He's not.
Thanks, Moody.
Oh, that convention scene we see Steven Spielberg trot through.
Yeah, they definitely had some little Easter egg cameos in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spielberg was in it. The guy who was smoking at the desk was like the main character in The Thing.
Okay.
One guy was like a horror hero of his. So, played the police officer and
Wow.
stuff
Well,
like
ding,
that.
ding, ding. Funny little horror reference for you. That chainsaw scene with Stripe and the chainsaw
Yeah.
wasn't originally in the script. That was an ode to Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, Billy said when they're in the department store, they filled the whole place with real stuff. So he's like, "Oh, cool, chainsaw. Wouldn't that be cool if a gremlin had a chainsaw?" And the director was like, "Yeah, that would be cool. Let's do it. Let's do it."
Yeah.
So that was Billy's idea.
Oh, my God. Oh, poor Gizmo on the dartboard. I almost was like, "Oh, I want to get him.
No.
I'll pick
Like-
him up and do a little scrunch his head and just pat him."
Yeah, he was so cute.
It was so creepy when the Christmas song plays. Do you hear what I
Yes.
hear? I knew as a kid that song sounded ominous, and now I know why.
Do you see what I see?
A star. All right. I've never seen Gremlins before. The one thing I knew about Gremlins was there's an episode of Family Guy where Peter puts one in a microwave.
So
And it just...
first one was in a blender.
Yeah.
Second one she stabbed to death. Third one she put in the microwave.
I just wrote, "Do not watch Gremlins." It was freaky.
Yeah. Well, so like
They're like little saboteurs, like in World War II, that are like just tinkering with everyone's shit.
They're very creepy, but it's kind of that humor, like I said earlier about like Army of the Dead or like that kind of horror comedy I've never been a fan of.
They had a good time. I
Yeah,
bet it was
they-
a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was it was a commercial success. They turned $11 million into $218 million or something.
And it is one of those movies that did great the first week and then did even better the second week and third week. It was just like word of mouth. I think people were like, "You gotta go see this."
And the release date, it was in June. This came out in June. It was about Christmas, which is so funny. So I'm seeing a trend in my notes now, where it's a good time to get into like when the Gremlins start wreaking havoc all over the town.
Yeah.
So many notes, which I'm sure you do too.
Let's hear it.
Such a murderous movie. The 1980s were wild because you could cut a wire of Christmas lights and it would just spark randomly. There's a random scene with Dad and a smoker gas attendant that was so pointless. Just the introduction of the ashtray.
Yeah, it kind of ruined the momentum of like the
Everything.
It was one of those like, "Hey, where do we put this scene?"
He likes ashtrays? What's it? Where are we going with this, guys?
So the guy was smoking, so he's like, "Hey, I invented this smokeless ashtray."
And then we just cut back to chaos with Gremlins, and it had
Exactly.
nothing to do with nothing.
Exactly.
So then my favorite part with all the chaos was there are Gremlins at a bar, and Kate is serving them alcohol. She is trying to light their cigarettes.
She's pouring them shots. I mean,
One gets a hold of a revolver.
Why didn't she leave?
Yeah. At what point did she try calling the cops? Oh, were the cops incapacitated at this time?
Well, there was 2 cops and they flipped their car.
Yeah.
So
in the whole town.
they're dead.
Yeah. In that whole damn town.
Yeah.
Did you see who one of the cops was?
No.
You've seen Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Mike the Hitman.
No.
Yeah. Yep.
The
It's
young
him.
one?
Yes.
No way.
Deputy.
You sure you looked
Positive.
this up? Okay, good.
Positive.
Okay, good.
Amazing.
So back to the bar scene real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So now at this point, they've gone full on comedy mode.
Yes.
With the guys, the gremlin has 3 cigarettes in his mouth.
They have assimilated into human culture.
Yes.
They are
And
wearing
there's-
ski masks.
There's like pimps and like dressed up like girls. And
Yeah.
like one gets shot in the head because he cheats at cards.
Yeah, they're jollily like singing like
Yeah,
songs
they're
at the
drunk.
bar. I don't even.
That's when I started liking it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because you could just tell they were having so much fun with it.
It like cuts to a gremlin that like has a tilted fedora, like it's a noir movie, like the Maltese Falcon is suddenly on screen, and I was just like, "What is happening right now?"
Gangster.
It's just so weird. And then they're dancing like he's a maniac. They got like the little leg warmers.
Yeah, they had a flash dance scene.
What the hell?
Oh, man.
This is when things kind of, kick into high gear where Billy and Kate have realized, it's Kate who's realized it. Kate has finally realized that they can be defeated, not just like with light, but with fire.
Sure.
So and then all of the gremlins have telecommunication, and they just all go to the YMCA
'cause
and the movie theater.
Well, she tries to light one of the cigarettes,
Mhm.
and it kind of scared.
It's like,
scared. Yeah.
yeah.
Which makes me think, like, how did he light his cigarettes?
Yeah, it's like Tilly when you try to clip her nails.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Stripes just jumps into a
He
pool at
jumps
the
into
YMCA.
the pool and just thousands come out, and they have this really weird stop animation. Stop.
Oh yeah, they're like
animation.
claymation. He like gives the okay, and then you just see them file into the streets,
Yeah.
and just insane.
Yeah.
So that was when they multiply. When they all converge on the movie theater, they're watching
Because it's dark in there. That's kind of what they're saying as well. Like, oh, they got to be inside.
which
It's
is
somewhere
again
dark.
It's a little confusing too because they're watching a movie, which I would say is inherently a little bright.
Yeah, there was multiple scenes when, like, in the bar, this guy is like, they're playing cards, and there's like a light
Right above them.
right above on this guy's face. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
so unrealistic.
I know, but it's the 1980s, and they were just
They're just gremlins.
They're just gremlins. They're in the movie theater, and Kate and Billy realize, okay, like we know how to defeat them, so they go tamper with the gas, the gas pump, and Billy, instead of like lighting a match and I don't know, like, I guess it was like a slow fuse, so they
it
could
was
get out
kind
of there.
Smart. He put a piece of paper in the door of that place, coming all the way out, so they had time to get out of the building.
I would have just let it cook, get out of there, throw a Molotov in there,
Oh, sure.
it'll eventually kaboom. I don't know.
I mean, he was successful, except Stripe got away.
Stripe did get away.
Stripe got away, baby.
Yeah.
He went to go get some candy.
Mm-hmm.
Classic
He
sweet tooth.
broke into a like a toy store, or what was it?
I think it was.
It was like a sporting goods store.
Yeah, it was a convenient,
Mhm.
big hardware convenience store type vibe.
Oh man, it was. I mean, yeah, and we saw a little cameo from E.T. and the Looney Tunes.
Yeah,
their
in the toy
products
store.
on top of the shelving unit. At one point, Stripes is on a tricycle. Looks like Jigsaw.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
It was so weird.
Every time I saw one of the puppets or it moving around, I would just sit there and go, okay, which technique are they using? I'm a really big puppet guy. Like, I took a couple classes on YouTube about puppetry.
Show them your
Look
puppet
at this.
skills.
Watch this.
Oh my god,
You can't see it right now, but it's real good. No, but seriously, it takes some skill, and
we'll workshop it. I'm just kidding.
and that was my favorite part, was just
Seeing them.
and imagining someone working their ass off with the hand up these these gremlins' asses.
Especially like in the movie theater, I at one point looked at Patrick and I go, "Do you think there were like 300 puppeteers in this movie theater, or like was it like sections
And they're all
segmented?"
just like sweating their ass off, swinging their arm around.
Yeah, I mean, Zach, what's his name? The guy who played Billy was like, "Yeah, we filmed this in Burbank, and it was really hot. And if you notice, I'm wearing a sweater the entire time. I can't imagine people behind the scenes like trying to stay cold."
It's trying to stay cold. Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, and they also thought about maybe how are we going to do the breath being cold, and they're like, you know what? Let's not even bother.
Yeah, there's not a single time where it looks that cold.
Yeah, exactly.
Ever.
Yeah.
I think that's about it with my notes, honestly.
Yeah, same.
But should we do the facts first and then?
Yeah. What do you got written down?
The theater that blows up with the gremlins inside was subsequently involved in another accident when Marty McFly in Back to the Future smashes into the front entrance. The theater then burned down with the rest of the buildings in the fire that happened right after the filming of Back to the Future Part 2. Okay. Some pretty intricate puppetry was used to bring the Mogwai and the gremlins to life, but that was apparently not the original plan. The story goes that they originally had the gremlins, wanted them to be portrayed by monkeys. But one monkey freaked out when they put a gremlin mask on him.
What?
And
I wonder why it freaked out.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. In 1990, the world was blessed with Gremlins 2, the new batch.
Ooh.
Joe Dante returned along with Zach Galligan and Phoebe Cates, though the action moves to New York. Ooh. It's also an insane movie. Dante basically made a Looney Tunes horror movie going heavy on the comedy. Gremlins 2 even pokes fun at the original film, such as riffing on the 3 rules of taking care of a Mogwai. I can't even say it. I tried to find out more stuff about the characters, the actors that played them. Zach Galligan, who played Billy Meltzer. This is the most notable thing that I found that he was in. Phoebe Cates, she was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Corey Feldman, oh my God, the list goes on. Stand By Me, Goonies, The Lost Boys, The Burbs, License to Drive, Fox and the Hound, Friday the 13th, Part 5. Hoyt Axton, I did not know he was a singer. Thank you for that fact.
Yeah, for sure. Excellent. So give me your Gizmo booty score.
Although my notes may tell a different story, I had a good time watching this with you. I always am like really impressed with the unexpected. Like when I've not seen something and it's been around for so long. This is a movie that we chose for Christmas, strangely enough. I had a great time and I'm down to see Gremlins 2.
Nice. Okay.
It's so weird though. And also like I wouldn't show this to your kids.
Yeah. No.
It was one of those movies that I had visions of myself if I would have seen it.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of Alex is someone that would have a lot of more problems. Or maybe he'd be way better. I don't know. Remains to be seen.
Was there a score in there?
I'll just give it a solid 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just a solid 8.
Because I could not look away.
True.
It was so entertaining.
Okay. That's a good point.
I had fun.
Sometimes with these older movies, there's a pacing issue where I'm like a little bit bored. But once we got cooking, and they're in the bar, they're tearing up the town. I was laughing. I was laughing really hard, and I enjoyed it. I don't remember as much as I thought I did as a kid.
Yeah, that's probably because you were terrified.
I probably suppressed a lot of this. But ultimately, I think I'm going to go a little lower and go with like a 7.2 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's my Gizmo Booty Pat score.
Oh. I can't wait to go to therapy and they'll be like, Alex, what do you want to talk about today? I'll be like, so I saw Gremlins from 1984. I need to get that out.
I need help. Yeah. This was an interesting one. I appreciate you letting me pick this one, Booty. You definitely get next couple of picks, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure to like, subscribe, share with your fellow nerds.
Warn us about Gremlins 2.
Yeah,
give
maybe
us some
we'll
spoilers.
Watch it. If you've seen it, maybe tell us if we should watch it or not.
Yeah.
But anyway, we had a blast watching this today. Gremlins, the PatCave. I'm Pat Clark. It's been a blast.
And I'm Bootsmo Gets Boots and Cats.
No,
I'm Bootyman Boots.
We'll fix that in post.
Yeah. Here I am.
All right. See you guys.
Or whatever he sounded like.